everything is done. Now we're only going to be very attentive and we're going to take home some valuable information so that it benefits this generation that is coming into our schools. And obviously, the ultimate aim is that we make them good citizens of our country. Okay? So everything is done. Now we're only going to be very attentive and we are going to this is a very important point some valuable information so that it benefits this generation that is coming into our schools. And obviously, the ultimate aim is that we make them good citizens of our country. Okay? Go back to that particular point. Everything is done. Now we're only going to be very attentive and we are going to this is a very important point some valuable information. Whether it is the Balvatika, whether it is the primary school, whether it is the middle school or the secondary education, you are not going to resort to any kind of corporal punishment. Also, high time we do away with this concept of punishment and rather go back to, things like introspection and positive behavior modification techniques. Okay? Can we go ahead? All right. So the next guideline that we see over here is to do with the play area. Okay. So the guideline says very clearly that every school, whether you have the Balvatika or not, but now that we're talking about Balvatika, so the entire school will have one common ground for playing, and these are the specifications mentioned over here. So every school has to have a designated period when the children will be taken out to play in those grounds. So whether the child is in Balvatika, whether the child is in primary, middle school, secondary, or whichever part of the NCF, they have to be, there has to be ample of play time. Okay. Apart from this, please involve a lot of manipulative play techniques. So that is, building blocks, some kind of puzzles, or some kind of activities where children use their hands, okay, use their thinking skills, use their creativity, use their critical thinking, problem solving techniques, etc. So you need to have all these things in your classroom, especially in the Balvatikas. Okay, so this is one of the guidelines, one of the important parameters given in the guidelines. Okay, can we move ahead? Great. In Balvatikas, it is also important that you have frequent field trips, site visits for your children to explore the world outside. So, it could be something as simple as taking them to the nearest post office to understand how the postal system works. It could even mean taking them to the nearest fire station so that they learn, the songs that they're learning about the fire engine, coming to extinguish a fire or something like that. So they have a proper hands-on activity or, a more like on-site training kind of a experience over there. Okay. So again, you need to also have your SOPs ready whenever you are taking your children outside. So your teacher should have their SOPs, handy so that they know the number of times the head count is to be taken, the number of times, how they divide themselves into taking care of those children. Okay, so all these things should be very clearly mentioned in your SOPs. SOPs, anyone over here who doesn't know the term SOP? It's standard operating procedures, right? We're all on the same page, right? Okay. So it's very important that all these guidelines are very clearly demarcated and it's put on documents for your teachers to have them handy, and this information should be passed on to every teacher. Okay. Let's go on to the next slide. classroom in Balvatika. Do you know the ratio? Anybody over here? 1 is to 20. Most of our CBSE schools have 40 children in the classroom. So ideally, you have to have two teachers. The last time I conducted this session in one of the schools in Goa, and the first question that came up in the question hour was, how is a teacher going to use that box with 40 children? It's going to be a chaotic situation. I just smiled at her and I said, how many teachers in the classroom? So she says, two. I say, what does common sense say when there's a large group? You're supposed to divide the class. So one teacher can probably take the children outside in the play area where they're using the equipments outside, while the other teacher could be probably using the Jadui Pitara inside. So, everyone is taken care of and the guidelines are also taken care of very easily. Okay? So, they say modern day problems require modern day solutions. So I don't see why this will not work in a classroom setup. Okay. So do I have the attention of all the people over there at the back also? Please raise your hands. Oh wow, that's nice. Thank you. All right. So we know about the teacher-pupil ratio. Let's explore the curriculum and academic year. So it says that 5 days in a week the school has to run for the Balvatika. Okay? I believe it works for 5 days in a week for all these children, right? The younger lot, even though I think most of our schools even work on a Saturday, but that's for the, no? I'm coming to your school, ma'am. Please take me. Yes. So, if Saturdays are called off days in your school, then well and good. But ideally, of course, the Balvatikas have to run at least 5 days in a week. Okay. Ideally, about 3 hours for them to come to school, so that all these activities are done very peacefully and the children are very well taken care of. Okay. You need to constantly upgrade your teachers' knowledge. Okay, so please participate in all the capacity building programs. Um, Timely information about the POXO Act is very, very mandatory. Okay, it is compulsory under the bylaws that every teacher knows about the POXO Act. Can somebody over there please tell me what POXO Act is?
Prevention of children against sexual offense. So this takes care of any kind of even hitting or touching, besides any sexual offense or touching of the private parts and all those things have to be taken care of. Verbal, non-verbal, anyway.
That's very right. And also at that particular age, it's very important to sensitize the child, to empower the child to learn to say no. Okay? So this can be very easily done in the classroom setup, especially with your Jadui Pitara, because there are dolls over there. You can use those dolls and you can teach children about, the 5 sacred spaces of their body or the 5 private parts of their bodies. Okay? All these things can be taught to the children, and before that, it's important that your teachers are trained for this. Okay? So, what is this? This is also one kind of a CBT, right? This is your continuous upgradation. You're learning something new every day. So, please see to that, teachers, even something like a small video that you see, say on YouTube. Okay? Like yesterday, one of my colleagues happened to share a particular website, anuragguptatoys.com. Okay? And sorry, arvindguptatoys.com. And he said that, ma'am, कल आप जाएंगे ना वहाँ पे जरूर बोलना, arvindguptatoys.com. When you go through this website, you see how beautifully trash is used to create toys, very meaningful toys. Okay? And I was just thinking, when we're talking today, we're going to talk about customization of your Jadui Pitara. Okay? So if something like this is used, and so no cost and low cost kind of toys that you can make from waste that is very easily available in school, at your homes, in your environment. Okay? So it is like you're hitting so many birds with that same stone. Reducing, reusing, recycling on one side, using your creativity on the other side, and taking developing interest of your students. So all these things are done so very easily. Okay, so this is very important that you're constantly upgrading yourself. You are constantly in touch with all new teaching learning patterns that are available for you. Okay, can we move ahead? All right. The last thing, so to bring a nice wide smile on my face, because with this we're going to end this session. Okay. Uh, Very important that you document every interaction that happens with every parent. Okay, so whether it is in forms of PTMs, whether it is in forms of any kind of complaints that are coming, your addresses, how you are, addressing issues that parents raise. So it's very important that these things are documented correctly. Apart from this, the age limit that has been set for the Balvatika is 3 years. Most of the principals sitting here will agree with me. Every time the admission time comes closer, you have a whole lot of politicians coming with letters, with recommendations, with a lot of things like हम आप इसको ये देंगे वो देंगे इस बच्चे को admission दे दो and all that stuff, and it's a very tough job being a principal during that time of the year. Okay, so please stick to the norm of 3 years as an entry point. Okay, and this is a mandatory thing. So you cannot take somebody's 2.5-year-old child because the local politician has sweetly threatened you to take the child in. So please stick to the mandatory thing that it is 3 years only. Okay, is everyone clear with all these points? Okay. Use a lot of technology in your classrooms. Okay. You have a whole lot of NCRT and CBSE websites with a lot of interactive games and interactive storytelling that is happening around. I think you've all taken the Jadui Pitara phone number for your WhatsApp, and I just try to type in, tell me the story of Red Riding Hood. So within about 2 minutes, the AI bot has given me a story. So you can use all these technologies and please incorporate it. Okay. Also, technology is a double-edged sword. Okay. See, one side we are telling the children to cut down on their screen time, and the second thing that we are doing on the other end is introducing technology in their lives. So the disclaimer is that बेटा आपने स्कूल में देख लिया अभी घर पे जाके नहीं देखना है, नहीं तो आंखें खराब हो जाएंगी. Okay, so you need to also incorporate that, empower them with that responsibility that they are responsible for their good health, and how excessive screen time can prove to be damaging than being helpful to them. Okay, so this is again our responsibility. Though this is not mentioned explicitly anywhere in this document, but I am still driving this point inside all of you so that parents normally come up with this complaint. आप लोग सब कुछ तो WhatsApp पे भेजते हो, इसलिए तो वो screen देखता है. Okay, so yes, we sometimes have to take that responsibility and have to work around that particular issue. Okay, is there anything else in this that you haven't understood? Please feel free to ask me right now, so that if you don't have anything, we can move on to the next part of the module. Anything, anyone?
Excuse me. Ma'am, CBSE has that 3 years it should be completed in the month of March. Our session begins in the month of April. So if the child will complete 3 years in the month of May, ma'am, it says that he should complete 3 years by the time the child is in the month is in sorry, you said March, right? yes, yes.
Yes. So ma'am, in that case you will have to use your discretion, because but then technically you cannot take the child because he's not completed 3 years. So maybe you can tell the parents that please come back next year. It'll be a little was January to December. So I had friends whose birthdays were in January, and I also had classmates whose birthdays were, on December 27th also. But we all studied in the same class, right? So I think you'll have to use your discretion over there and explain this to the parent. Like I said, there'll be a lot of pressure on the school. कि ले लो ना 2 ही महीने का फर्क पड़ता है. But the guideline says three complete, so three complete. Okay? Any other doubt?
Just wanted to add one point here, ma'am.
The state government circular says 3.5. Yes.
Ma'am,
Ma'am? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add one point.
Yes, sir.
With regard to 3 years, what we can always do, all the teachers and coordinators, whoever are here, we should keep one thing in mind. When the students go to ninth standard, when they register for ninth standard, by the date by which they should register for it, there should be 14 years.
Yes.
So that you can always also keep it in your discretion. So child who is taking admission in your school, and in 31st August is the deadline to which the child should be entering into the 14 years of age. That's the way you should calculate, to be on the safer side. But don't even take, even if child is one day also here or there, because otherwise the child will lose
The
1 year.
opportunity to take the exam in grade 10.
So apart from the 3 years term, this thing please consciously keep it in your mind. You can calculate the way we calculate our age. You can just put the number, the old system, and it's pretty easy. I think that should
Yes,
solve there.
yes, absolutely.
Apart from that, why 3 years? You can also tell the parents the difference between the child 6 months less. There are a lot of things which is not developing in his physically and mentally and all, which is a very crucial thing we should raise to the parents.
Yes.
Because otherwise they will be deprived and their moral will be completely in a different stage in comparison to other students. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir, for answering that question. Ma'am has raised a point over here that the state government GR says 3.5 years. So again, like I said, since we are operating within this on this land, so it's better that we stick to the guidelines that have been given to us by the state government also. Okay? Is everyone clear? Yes? Right? Okay. Can I move on to the next session now? Yes, somebody's got it down. Somebody said, ma'am. Yes, please go ahead, ma'am.
There is one point in the slide.
Yeah.
Each school shall give evidence that it maintains a curriculum and an educational program based on SCM. Can you please elaborate that?
Okay. There is an entire curriculum that has been given by the NCRT and endorsed by the CBSE. Okay. Ideally, you're supposed to follow that, but it's not mandatory for the schools to follow the syllabus given over there. So what we do is we have these private publishers who come with books and all that. So the whole thing is that at that particular age group needs to learn certain competencies. Okay. So how you give them those competencies, what kind of books you use is entirely your, the school's area of expertise to decide. But those competencies, those core competencies need to be, uh, to be taught. Okay. So please keep in mind whatever books you're choosing, whether they are going parallel with the curriculum that NCRT and CBSE have chalked out. That is the meaning of that point. Okay?
Okay. And if they want some more evidences like photographs and all, whatever the activities they are taking in the classroom, or that type of evidences they want are only for the books.
No, they will have all evidences. No, they will want all kind of evidences, right? So photographs that you're taking and all that. You will have to keep. See, basically, the whole idea is whether the right curriculum is being imparted to the students or not, right? So please do that, and everything is taken care of then. Yes? Have I answered your question? Is there anyone else? Can we move ahead? for being so patient with me for the first session. Now please keep up your patience for the second session too. Okay? Take a class for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session. You were highly engaging and energetic. We look forward to have more sessions with you. I now invite again our principal, sir, to give away the token of love to our guest. I request Ms. Hemangi P. Prasad to come up and accept our token of gratitude.
Yes, I will do that after I finish with this session also. Okay? Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Can we go on to the next slide, please? Okay, now we are here to discuss what the Jadui Pitara is all about. Okay? We'll have a quick recap about what we just learned about the NCF and all. So I don't want to do the talking. I want you people to do the talking now. Okay? Very quickly. Very quickly. Please tell me what is the NCF all about? NCF FS all about. Who's going to speak? Jaldi, jaldi. You want me to make you sing Johnny Johnny again? Yes.
National Curriculum Framework Foundational Stage.
Okay. What does that aim at? Somebody from this side? Yes, ma'am. What does it aim at?
Including foundational courses from pre-primary level, that
Okay.
is from nursery onwards till grade 2,
Okay.
foundational learning.
Okay. What is it? How is this whole process going to take place? What are they going to use for it? Somebody's answering over here.
Three method, experiential learning.
Okay. What things in the playway method are they going to be using? Toys?
Involving all the students physically with every activity. They should handle, touch,
Yes.
and feel the activity so that their concepts will be clear
So
by handling it.
So it's about using all the sensory
Yes.
organs,
Yes.
right? Okay, very good. All right. Now, Jadui Pitara by itself. What is what image does it evoke in your mind when I say Jadui Pitara?
Some magical thing is going to pop out. So something interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it reminds something about that cartoon character Doraemon who removes any toy, whatever is asked for, It creates what kind of.
Doraemon, मेरा homework करके दे दो. Yes. Um, Children by nature are supposed to be very curious. Okay? Children by nature also would like to explore things. Children by nature are adventurous, you know. So anything new will always catch their attention. And hence the word Jadui Pitara, because you never know what is there on the other side of Jadoo. Right? You never know what is there on the other side of magic. Right? Hence the beautiful term Jadui Pitara. Pitara, what is the meaning of Pitara? A box. Okay? So when you put Jadui Pitara, when you put that, you coin the words together, you put the terms together, it only means that you are, infusing that box with a lot of, curiosity value, explorative value, and that value of uniqueness, that something different lies inside this, which is otherwise not very easily available in my immediate environment. Okay? Have you all understood this?
For a child, it is a surprise thing that comes out. So he waits for the surprises coming out of the box.
Like I said, the element of the unknown. Na? write at a particular age, or not being able to speak or recite poetry at a particular age or something, or rhymes at a particular age. How many of you said LMNO PQ or lemon or PQ, whatever, lemon or PQ? Most of us, I think, grew up saying lemon or PQRST, right? Why do you think that happened? We were dumb?
Ma'am, just wanted to
Yeah.
ask
Yes.
one small thing if I can.
Yes.
Jadui Pitara takes us towards moving away from the stereotypes,
Right.
number one. Second, it takes our learning to the lateral level, not the horizontal line.
That's right.
Where the kids start thinking differently. So they are seeing the same box, but each one of them,
Every child sees it differently.
expectations are different, and they have every right to expect something different to come out,
Yes.
even if it doesn't come differently, but they can have their own definition for it.
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. Like, if there is a rectangular piece of block inside the Jadui Pitara, I would probably see it as a brick. Okay? Somebody else may see it as a phone. Somebody else may see it as a playing card. Because this is a child's world. Anybody can see it as anything. Somebody else who's, a very car enthusiastic kind of a child may see it as a car. Another child may see it as a airplane. Okay? Yet another may see it as a bus. अभी ये इतना बोलने में ही शायद हमने 10 parts को explore कर लिया है. So imagine there are 40 children in the class, 40 different perspectives to the same block of wood. Okay? So this is the reason why it makes the child think differently. Okay? So Jadui Pitara was launched on 20th of February in the year 2022 by Dharmendra ji and Dharmendra Pradhan ji, and the whole idea behind Jadui Pitara was what we have just discussed, that we are teaching a child to learn. Okay? We are not teaching the child studies, we are teaching the child how to go about with learning in a very joyful manner. Okay? So can we continue? Any doubts still here? Sure? None? Great. Discussed all these points that it's very important that the way studies have been traditionally seen in our country. Okay? Studies have somehow always been associated with very stressful times. Okay? In every house, especially where you have mothers who are working. So the mother says, "इतना काम करके आओ, फिर खाना भी बनाओ, इसकी पढ़ाई भी लो." So that इसकी पढ़ाई भी लो becomes like a very big problem. Okay? I remember when I was 3 years of age, I told you, right? 2.5 years I was in a Montessori where they expected me to write in cursive writing. By the time I was 3, they expected me to paint and make a scrapbook. I still have that scrapbook back at home because I got A plus in that. My father was an architect and he studied at Jesus School of Arts. He was a beautiful artist, okay? Like his fingers had magic in them. So he made an entire storyboard of the cat seller and the monkeys, the thirsty crow. Then he made very beautiful pictures of daffodils and tulips and everything. And Himangi Jagdish Sarode got an A plus on it. So now tell me whether it was Himangi Sarode who got A plus, or was it Mr. Architect Jagdish M. Sarode who got a A plus? Right? This is what we have learned. Jadui Pitara and NCFFS aims at doing away with this practice. Okay? The project, the homework that we are giving to these children, understand, no 3-year-old is going to be able to make a straw house or an ice cream stick house. And if somebody claims that my child has made it, there is something terribly intelligent about that child. I wouldn't say terribly wrong, I would say, extremely intelligent intelligent about that particular child. Okay, most of the children of that age will not be able to do it. So, are we judging the parents or are we judging the child? I really don't know. Okay, so it's very important that all these practices have to be done away with, and this is why this particular Jadui Pitara is so transformative in its nature, because all the all the onus of learning is on the teacher and the student. Okay, and whatever you are testing, okay, is again what the child has learned and not what the parent has done for that particular child. Okay, we are all together in this. Sure. Great. Now, what is the playway method of learning? What is the playway method of learning? What comes to your mind when I say play? Let's play and learn. Five beta. It's fun. Sir says including games and fun in teaching. Okay, you're right. Yes, ma'am. The same thing. Okay, anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Learn while playing. But what does play include?
Excitement.
Excitement. Okay. Anything particular?
It's a free way of learning.
I'm sorry.
Free way of learning, not like stereotyped, write this only or do this only. So they can explore on their
More
own.
Kids will
exploring.
not
More
feel
exploration.
pressurized.
It does not include books. Says it does not include books. Okay, so the traditional way of making a 2.5-year-old child drive, it does not include that. Okay, great.
Ma'am,
Yes.
yeah. Ma'am, we inculcated it in our school. We want to introduce vegetable market to our senior KG students. So we told them to bring some vegetables from their house, and we made a scenario of vegetable market.
Great.
And teachers went and bought the
You went and got it from there. Okay. What have you used in this? I mean, what method have you used in this?
learning method.
No, no, no. Yes, what learning method?
It's a role.
Perfect. So we can say that playway method also includes playing different roles. Yes? Okay. Anybody else? You were about to say something.
In the play, we can use sand and then different measurements where the child puts the sand into different sizes of measurements.
Okay.
So the child enjoys also and at the same time learns.
So basically hands-on activities.
And the hippocampus is satisfied and is happy.
Oh, absolutely. Those are the, the
brain.
happy effects of, reasons for the dopamine to be released in the brain, right?
Yeah. When the child is happy, he is learning something.
Absolutely. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah, one moment, please.
ma'am, when we are taking the activity, so during the that like a math concept, we are using that numeracy time. That time we are providing students concrete, pictorial, and abstract activity. So each this thing students can learn many things. Like if we are doing addition, so only we are not focusing on one plus one two, and that addition we can do. So we are using that concrete material, that tile pattern.
Yes, but what are you using as in what technique is being used over here?
Learning through different type of teaching resources which caters to the needs of all types of learners.
So multiple intelligence theory, anybody? Right? Okay, great. You
Learning.
wanted to say something here? Yes.
Ma'am, first of all,
Good.
in the month of April, they join nursery. They are too young. The atmosphere of the school is also very much subdued for them. So that is not the correct time to teach them the alphabets. Like right now, we cannot start to teach the alphabet. But what we have done, we have taken the first activity that if my name is Priya. So we have given them the letters. And we told them to just color with their fingers. Okay, so finger movements, fine motor
Finger
development.
painting?
Yes, finger painting or finger dance, whatever they are familiar with that.
Okay.
Some have been learning, some.
Great, great.
So
Okay.
in that we did the all things like
think those things we can teach them. It is very useful and productive.
Perfect. Now I'll give you an example. Okay. When my son was in the play group, okay, they were teaching them uses of water. Okay, uses of water. First, the concept was introduced: what is water, and then uses of water. So the teacher taught them that water is used because we drink water, we take bath. Okay, I think two or three uses bataya hoga. And my son raises his hand and he says, "We use water to wash the fish that Nani brings from the market." So, simple conversations like this also is something that playway method explores. Okay? So, teachers, playway method is not about just playing. Okay? Playway method also involves conversations. कहाँ गए थे छुट्टी में? मैम, मैं आई मैजिका गया था. Right? So from that one word I magica, the child can actually enthrall the entire classroom by telling them what happened at I magica. Okay? The concept of verbs, ma'am, and then the ride went spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. See, new vocabulary, spinning and spinning and spinning. Okay? What is spinning as an activity? It is a verb, right? Yes or no? Man, the ride was very fast. I got scared. मैं डर गया था. मला भीती वाटली होती. You know? Yes. So what is that? Exploring different languages. The concept of fear being discussed in different languages. So conversations are very important. Very, very, very important as one aspect of playway method of learning. Toy-based playing. Okay. So I my son's teacher had once called me to school and she said everything finally comes down to Nani had gone to the machi market to break machi. So is he very fond of fish? I said yes. And she said because he keeps talking about fish all the time. I said yeah, that's his favorite food. I mean, I'm like, yeah, because B says ball, okay? But Hindi used to say B says bangla. And they do not say B says bangla. It is M says mackerel. It is not B says bangla. It is bird say bangla. So that is how you see a child can learn in any way. Okay, any way is a way to for the child to learn. Okay, yes. Anybody wants to share some? Anybody wants to share some other story, some little tidbit of their life? Please go on. Yes, ma'am.
Like you said, your son said something. I also had experienced the same way. We were asking the children what can be done with eyes and ears, like sense of organs, five senses. Then the children were telling that we can, with the eyes, this, we can do that, we can do that, we can do this. And one child who was always, very, very quiet. Then we asked him again and again, and he said we can sleep with that.
Oh, wonderful. We can actually sleep with our eyes. Yes. Just take one quick minute from you all. My son had a friend, okay, in school. Her name was Zai. Very intelligent child. And for some strange reason, she refused to speak in English for a very long period of time. So everything you speak to Zai in English, she should always answer back in Marathi or Hindi. So I think in their school they used to study in a school called Euro Kids. So they were in the same class, and she was a little hyper kind of a girl. Okay, so the mossy in the class, the maid in the class, was given a duty to always hold her tightly and sit because otherwise she should keep jumping here and there. And super intelligent child, so she should just pick up, she should grasp the information very easily and she should disturb other children there. So I think the teacher was teaching her the concept of in and out. And I believe they were in the junior KG or maybe nursery, I'm not very sure, a play group. And the teacher said, this is in, this is out. She pulls out a tag from the book and says, now this is in, now this is out. समझ में आ गया? And suddenly, Zai maybe, I don't know what happened to her. She my husband was not at home, he'd gone to the cremation. My son asked me, where's Papa? And I don't know what got into me, and I said, Motia is not there anymore, and she's no longer. Not there anymore means, I said, she's gone to God's house. Why are you crying? I said, because I'm feeling bad. He said, where is God's house? I said, it's up there. When will we go? I said, we can't go now, but there is still time. Then he said, how did she go there? I explained to him. I said, there's a light inside and the light goes up and the body remains here. Then Papa has to go and has to put that on fire. Like, the cremation fire has to be lit, blah, blah, blah. I told him many things. And the child just looks at me and he said, and that is why you're crying? I said, yes. I was partly crying because you're asking me so many questions early in the morning. But I can't tell him that, right? So I said, yes, that's why I'm crying. So he said, when will she come back? I said, she'll come back as a small baby because now the body has become old. She'll come back as a small baby. In our house, I said, no, thanks. After you, no more. In your Atya's house. So then he says, oh, she'll come as a baby. And you'll be happy when she comes back? I said, yes, I'll be very happy. So he said, and at that moment, a major learning happened. You know what? He said, that means that when I was born, you were smiling, and there was somebody else who was crying for me somewhere. See, every conversation that happens is a learning experience for a child. And please don't tell me, madam, your child must have been an intelligent child. Every child is intelligent. We are the ones who categorize them as A plus outstanding, A minus, B plus, B minus, C plus, D, E, and F. Okay? Trust me, given the right opportunity, every child is intelligent. Okay? Can we move ahead? Okay. Learning through playway also includes going for field trips, going to, learning centers like, say, the butterfly park or the snake park or the zoo. Everywhere learning happens. So the NCF says that do not restrict your learning just to the classroom with print-rich environment and, we have charts of all types, all colors, etc. You want to teach them the color green, the concept of color green. What better than nature to show them what color green is? You want to teach them gradations of green. What better than the park outside? So you have dark green grass or you have the light green grass and the dark green mango tree leaves, right? So much of concepts that can be taught, in the out in the nature. Okay? Did you all understand this? Can we move forward? Great. I think we have discussed all these things. I've already told you that, it says that they're very curious by nature. Children are very curious by nature. And hence, this Jadui Pitara is a very important concept of this NCF FS. Okay? Now, let us see what is there in the Jadui Pitara. Let me just show it to you. Okay? Can you bring that ahead? Can you next? It's a little heavy. When you open the Jadui Pitara, children love to look at their own faces. मैं कैसे दिखता हूँ, मैं कैसे दिखती हूँ, right? I think you all also love to do that. Every time I wear my lipstick, when I'm traveling to school, I always end up putting the selfie camera to check if the lipstick is still there or it's properly done or not. I think that's a very human tendency. Okay? And working on this tendency, they have kept a mirror over here, a reflective, a reflective mirror over here, so that when a child opens this box, the child first sees himself, okay, and feels happy about seeing himself. The second thing, there are a lot of musical instruments inside this particular Jadui Pitara. And why do you think that are there inside the in the box? Why is it there?
To grab attention.
To grab their attention, right? Enhances the auditory skills, right? Um, what else? It's, any sound is always, it attracts them towards what is going on. And of course, musical aptitude, people who have musical aptitude will also find learning more interesting when something like this comes out of the box. Yes or no? Are we sleeping? Great. Please don't sleep. Then there are, different kind of games over there for the child's gross motor skills to improve. Okay, so there is a rope inside. Now, how do you think this rope can be used? Anybody? A number game on the floor. Okay, they can play stapu on that. Stapu pata hai aapko? Chippi chippi. We used to play na when we were kids. Yes or no? You put that thing, then you jump over it. Yes? Okay. And what else can you do with this rope? Sorry?
Climbing.
Patterns? Okay. Climbing?
Yes.
Tug of war.
Ascending, upwards, the number increases. That also we can.
We can teach them so many things with this rope. Yeah.
Tug of war.
I'm sorry?
Tug of war.
Yes, tug of war also we can teach them.
Forward and backward counting.
Forward and backward counting. Skip counting. Okay, skip counting. Walking, yes. Balance, something as simple as walking, without falling down. Because a 3-year-old child, see, vestibular balance is very important. So, you can teach your child all these things using this particular, either a rope or a ladder. Okay. Bowling set, eye-hand coordination, okay, gross motor skills, right? So many other things. And it can also help a child relax. When we talk about customization, now that I'm doing this, I want you to put your gray cells to work. That how you can customize your own Jadui Pitara. Okay? तो bowling set की जगह आप क्या use कर सकते हो? Paper cups use कर सकते हो. Very good. What about anything else?
Water bottles.
Water bottles use कर सकते हो, but I'll tell you something. Parents will get very nosy if the water bottle gets a dent. Okay? They'll get very nosy and you'll have to pay them water bottles back. Like, to pay them the money and please, if your salary is good, please do all that. I'm sorry? Paper, yeah. Yes. Reduce, reuse, recycle. You have these bottles. So tell children to bring, waste bottles from their homes. Fill that with water. Okay. Or fill that with some colorful, just drop a color, a drop of color in it. So you can teach them colors. At the same time, they can use it as a bowling activity. Right? So this can be there in your Jadui Pitara. Yes? Okay, great. The Jadui Pitara also has, a lot of games of fine motor skill coordination. Okay, like you have the beads, so you can do the beading activities. You can make them, something as basic as teaching them how to tie their shoelaces. Do you know this generation that we are raising? We are raising really lazy people because the shoes have velcros. They don't know how to tie the laces. I can talk about my own son. It took him years to learn to tie the lace. Okay, because till grade 5 they had velcro shoes, and as much as I tried, he used to just not be willing to buy shoes with laces. And he should tell me, मैं लूंगा, लेकिन तू मुझे बांध के देना. I'm like, हाँ, पापा ने खरीद के रखा है ना, मुझे बांध के देना. You learn it on your own. So it is something that these lacing activities can actually help children to learn some very basic skills like tying the laces of their own shoes. Okay. Then you have these colorful graded rings. It can order, descending order, large numbers, small numbers. You can have games like Lagori using this. See, Lagori is such a dying game. अभी देखा है आपने किसी बच्चे को लगोरी खेलते हुए? They don't even know what Lagori is. आप लोग खेलते थे? अभी खेलना है? If we have time, we'll play Lagori. Okay? Yeah. Fine. This is my promise to you. Okay. You can have these finger puppets. Okay. You don't have to buy very expensive finger puppets for the Jadui Pitara that you will be making for your school. You know, your discarded socks, discarded gloves can make excellent hand puppets. Okay, so use your gray matter, put it to work, and make these lovely little things that your hand puppets from these particular items, and it's going to be a super hit. That box of yours is going to be a super hit with all your students. Okay, for larger muscles, okay, there is a ball inside, which again the children can play, can use for eye-hand coordination. Okay, so you have a large group of children and you're playing, say, handball or something of that kind. So they can recite numbers, they can recite alphabets, they can sing rhymes using the ball. So many things can be done with the ball also. Okay. There is a kitchen set over there. In the morning session, you saw that she was asking you, how can you replace the kitchen set? So, you can have the Maharashtra is also an agriculture state, right? So, how about teaching children to grow their own food? Say, for example, you have a kitchen garden in your school. So, your Jadui Pitara can have that digging set and all that, some little seeds. And so the children will learn, on their own how to go and plant seeds or how to plow the land. So many things can be taught to them. Okay? You can have those engineering sets in that. Okay? Again, not very expensive ones. You can even make them in your own school. Okay? Great. Rag dolls. While I was speaking to you about Coxo, I also told you that the Jadui Patara will have a lot of these dolls and all which can be used for, for teaching them about the private parts of their bodies, right? So you can use the contents of the Jadui Patara in any ways that you want to use them. Okay? The Jadui Pitara also contains abacus. Okay, so that is for a slightly older group of children when they start learning place value or face value of numbers, etc. See, Jadui Pitara is not only for grade nursery, junior, senior. It can be even customized for standard 1 and 2 children. Okay, you can make n number of customizations to a Jadui Pitara. So there is no limitations to that. Okay. You can have building blocks in your Jadui Pitara. It really helps. Okay. Sometimes, there'll be some parent who might want to say that we have a lot of these toys from our child is grown up. We'd like to donate it to the school or something like that. There's no harm in taking them and putting them in your Jadui Pitara. Okay. हम छोटे नहीं होंगे अगर ऐसा करेंगे तो, right? But just see to that the toys do not have any rough edges, are not made of toxic material, and are safe for the children to use. Okay? Okay, everyone? Yeah, I think I'm a little biased towards the people on my right because I just realized I'm not looking at the people on my left. So I'll just come to my left also. Yes. So now for the eye-hand coordination in the Jadui Pitara, there are a lot of jigsaw puzzles. There is a lot of coloring activity. There is a lot of stringing activity, weaving activities, etc. So it can be a very entertaining thing inside the Jadui Pitara that all these things are there. Okay. Any doubts over here? Sure. I'll go ahead. So for language and language development and pre-writing and pre-numeracy skills, there are a whole lot of these toys over there where there are like shape sorters are there. Then, this alphabet tracing boards are there. Uh, in my school, my colleague, who is the special educator, she used to bring semolina from her house. Semolina is rava, okay? We should not use sand because we were working with the CWSN group of children, like children with autism. Yes, no, but then again, Rangoli and all also, no, children have this habit of putting things in their mouth. Okay? Sand and Rangoli can be a little problematic when you're working with CWSN children. And the NCFFS also says, the bylaws also says that you cannot say no to any CWSN who seeks admission. So, ऐसे में when you're using these, Rangoli, or you're using any kind of toxic material, it can get a little problematic. So semolina, which is rava, it gives a very nice feel, and just one simple plate, put rava in that, and teach them to trace alphabets. And it's such a fun activity. Line लगा के खड़े रहते हैं, शांति से खड़े रहते हैं, they are learning community skills over there. They are learning patience over there. They are learning to wait for their turn over there. Okay, see something as simple as rava. Who would think, something as humble as rava in from your kitchen can become a very good content for your Jadui Pitara. Okay, for the language ability to improve. In the Jadui Pitara, there are these flashcards, story cards, You can show them a story card and you ask them to speak on it. So something like, आज मेरा बर्थडे है. So बर्थडे के लिए हिंदी में क्या शब्द है? तो आज मेरी सालगिरह है. So the child is learning, proper Hindi, and is, you're training the child to speak, right? सालगिरह में क्या करते हैं? तो हम अपने दोस्तों को बुलाते हैं, अपने मित्रों को बुलाते हैं, हमारे घर में हमारी हमारी माँ घर को सजाती है. So many new words, right? So the speaking ability of the child improves. Okay, language ability improves. The same thing can be done in Marathi also, na? तुला काय दिसतंय या चित्रात? मग मला ट्रॅफिक लाईट दिसते, ही गाडी इथून जाती आहे. So many things. Grammatically, they will be learning the language. How many of you over here are non-Marathi speakers, non-native people? Okay. How many of you still find Marathi problematic? Speaking in Marathi problematic? Yes, there are a few hands. I understand. It is very natural. Like, I'll give you an example. Last week, we had a parent with a grievance. Okay, we came to our school and we started speaking in Marathi with our principal. And our principal has just been appointed from one of the Bihar schools. And sir was just staring at his face because sir didn't understand what the guy is speaking. So I cut him short and I said, "Sirana Marathi येत नाही. तुम्ही हिंदीमध्ये बोला." So the first thing the man says, असं कसं येत नाही? इथे कामाला आहेत ना? शिकायला नाही का पाहिजे? I am looking at him and I said, तुझं प्रॉब्लेम सांग ना. त्यांना मराठी येतं की नाही ते माझं ते आम्ही बघून घेऊ काय किती शिकवायचं काय नाही शिकवायचं. But jokes apart, if a child is taught the language right at the time when the child is 3 years old, keeping Hindi and English, all the three languages going together, don't you think it will become very easy for the child to survive in the state at a later point of time? Yes or no? So this is why when you customize your Jadui Pitara, see to that you add a lot of Marathi speaking concepts, writing concepts in that particular box. Okay, very much needed. Okay, numerical ability and sensory perception. So we spoke about the feely bag some time ago when the person from NCRT was just showing us what the feely bag is. I don't think it's there inside right now because the box itself is very heavy and with all those things, it becomes heavier. So normally, just the prototype, just the exemplar is being shown to you over here. These things may not be there inside, but you can make it, okay? So what you can do is, inside this box, you could just put anything that is there, any of these toys that are there, and ask the child to put his hand them how to count and the concept of numbers. Okay. Worksheets related to this is also there in the Jadui Pitara, wherein you have matching worksheets or you have sequential worksheets, sequential continuation worksheets and all that. So all this is taken care of in the Jadui Pitara. Okay. A lot of activities for increasing the observation skills. So what is missing? Okay. There are these pictures that are given with some things missing in the other picture. So you are supposed to be looking at it and then you're supposed to be telling what is it that is there in this picture but it is not there. So the cat's tail is missing, or the man's mustache is missing, or the man's hat is missing, or the cat is missing. So many things, again, I'm sorry, finding out differences. So the observation skill improves. And this is also very helpful to children who could be having a learning disability. And at that age, when the child misses these finer details, your school counselor or your school special educator can actually come down and tell you that, okay, this looks like a probable case of learning disability. You know that, huh? That till the age of 8, we cannot give them a definite diagnosis. But if it is caught at a very young age with the right kind of remedial education, that condition can be contained. Okay, it can be taken care of. Okay, so that is why these charts are very important. Okay, anybody over here who wants to differ from what I am saying, please feel free to raise your hand and give me your perspective and your point of view. So if I am wrong, I will correct myself. And if you are on the wrong track, then maybe I can bring you back to the right track. Okay? Right? Great. In the Jadui Pitara, there is also one handbook for the teachers to use. It is known as the Unmukh handbook. It's very easily downloadable from the NCRT site. It's also there on the Diksha app. So just put Unmukh and you will get it. Okay? It's a huge document. I think 200 pages I think it's 125 pages. I'm not very sure. So you can download it and or else you can write to NCRT and you can get a copy of that particular book from their publication. Okay. Anand, there is these loose sheets, worksheets that they have designed, so you can even use the Anand worksheets from there. Okay. Apart from all these things, inside the Jadui Vitara, you can also have pen drives with music or dance or some kind of an activity which can be used as a technology aid for teaching learning process to happen. Okay? Any doubt? Any doubt? Johnny, any doubt? No. Good. Only when I say Johnny, all listen to me. Okay. Fine. I think this we have already done. Yeah. So please play this video. I just want you all to pay attention to this video. Namaste. activities, don't you think it would have been easier for this child to associate the numbers or to learn the number sequence? Yes or no? Looking at the child, I'm sure she was not more than 4 years of age. Can you imagine the trauma the child is undergoing? For us, it's funny, the way she's like crying and all that. But I really felt bad, and that's why I just put this video for us to realize that where we go wrong as teachers, where we go wrong as parents. Yes.
Mostly copying the parent. Because like that,
ये तो वीडियो बनाने के लिए भी किया होगा. आई एम नॉट justifying that, but the point is most parents get on to becoming very physically abusive with children when they're not able to learn certain things. For all you know, this child could be a learning disabled child, and maybe the concept is not getting into her neural system. It's not her fault. She was.
You could see the anger on the child. So much frustration was leaking in.
Absolutely. And these are the kind of children who would just want to drop their books and run away from their classrooms or act out in the school and increase the workload of the school counselor who's already working very hard with the older children. Okay. So did you all understand this? Yeah? Okay. So again, the Jadui Pitara also aims at adding a lot of value to their life by making teaching, learning a very fun activity. Okay? Is there anything that you've not understood so far? Is there anything that you've not understood so far? So can I teach you how to access the e-Jadui Vitara? Yeah? Everybody has their phones in their hands. Wonderful. Oh, there's no network? अच्छा, हर टेबल में कोई एक पर्सन है जिसके फोन में नेटवर्क है? दो तीन टेबल में तो कोई होगा जिसके पास नेटवर्क होगा. चलो जिसके पास नेटवर्क है वो आपका बेस्ट फ्रेंड, उसके पास चले जाइए. Otherwise, write down the steps. Okay? Go to the Diksha app. You know how to go to the Diksha app? Google में जाइए. Put diksha.gov.in. Okay? diksha.gov.in. ये डालने से आपको ऐसा एक पेज ओपन होगा. Okay? And that will have the Jadui Pitara running on the top. I think it's the third dot. Okay, so when you click on it, you get the next page which takes you to the Pitara and it shows you what is the content inside and based on what language you want to use it in. So you can do the settings over there and you can actually access what all things are there in the Jadui Pitara. Okay? Yes? Was I too fast? You want me to repeat it again? Google पे जाइए diksha.gov.in. जब पेज खुलेगा तो ऊपर first you'll have Modi ji ka photo doing something, then somebody else's photo, and the third thing is the Jadui e-Jadui Pitara. Click on that. When you click on that, you can personalize it. कि आपको, who are you? So are you a teacher? Or are you a parent? Or are you a student? वो सब information डालिए. Okay. After that, which area you're from. Okay, so whether you want it English में चाहिए, हिंदी में चाहिए, मराठी में चाहिए, उड़िया में चाहिए, बंगाली में चाहिए. So put that info and then you can easily access this particular site. Okay? This is how it will look. The e-Jadui Pitara is also available on Google Play Store for the Android users. The super rich iPhone users, sorry, CBSE and NCERT doesn't consider you to be Jadui Pitara worthy. Okay? So it is only the Android users who get the chance to use this on our phones. Okay? All Android users, pat your back. That is a joke, you're supposed to laugh. All right. There are a whole lot of stories in this. There is a whole lot of activities that you teachers can replicate in your classrooms. Basically, it's a nice, fun learning interface. So instead of going back home and seeing reels on out to your children so that they learn how to use the contents of the Jadui Pitara. Okay? See to that the classroom is a stress-free area. There are no fights or there are no physical pushing and bullying and all that. So there is something like a timeout zone where children, the ones who push and beat up people because they're not getting their chance at using the Jadui Pitara or not getting the chance to use the contents. So, these children can be sent to the timeout zone for introspection, not for punishment. Why are you not supposed to send them for punishment? Because the bylaw says no punishments. Understand? See how we are linking things together. Okay? And also, teachers, please develop more low cost and no cost material to be put in your Jadui Pitara. Okay? Customize it as per the state language so that your learners get a chance to learn the language which we are still trying to master. Okay? Anything else? You want to ask me anything else with regards to this? सब सो रहे हैं क्या सबको चाय मंगवाने के लिए श्योर राइट यू डोंट वांट चाय नो ओके okay there are some do's and don'ts for the Jadui Pitara. Okay, see to that every child gets a reason to participate in the activities from the Jadui Pitara. See to that nobody is left from that particular group. See to that there are plenty of stimulating worksheets, toys, etc. in the Jadui Pitara. And also, yes,
Sometimes it happens that child will carry the thing in the pocket. So at that time, there should be some instruction from the teacher at the time of dispersal. A toy is there in the bag and it is just peeping out, telling that I am there in the bag. So like that, the thing can be there. So at that time, these kids are very innocent. So they will return it.
very funny. आप लोगों को tumbling monkeys game पता है? Tumbling monkeys? Yes. There's this, I think Leo Mantle had come up with this toy. I'm not sure which brand, but we used to have it at our home when my son was growing up. There are 30 monkeys in that. Very small ones with curved tails, okay? And you interlock that particular game device with sticks, and you put the monkeys inside. So the game is, you roll the dice, and whatever color comes out, you're supposed to put that. You're supposed to pull out that color stick out in such a way that the monkey shouldn't fall down on the ground. So the more number of monkeys, and you lose the game. Okay, so you're supposed to have more number of sticks and less number of monkeys falling down. It is aimed to work on your eye-hand coordination and fine motor skills. Now, when we had this game, and way back when my son was still a little boy, it used to be a big headache. Khelna was not the headache. Counting the monkeys and counting the sticks, 30 monkeys and 30 sticks. Now, one day we had 29 monkeys and 30 sticks. So I have to tell him, where is the 30th monkey? Because see, if the numbers don't correspond, then the game is useless. So then the next day, we made a rule. We used to check each and every child's pocket when they used to leave. It's like, chalo chalo, security check, security check. And then किसी के, pants के corner में से monkey निकलता था, किसी के shirt. अच्छा आंटी मैं भूल गया था. नहीं कोई बात नहीं बेटा वापस दे दो, नहीं तो मेरे घर का monkey होने लगेगा. It was that way. So, whatever we do as mothers, I think we need to do the same thing as teachers also, right? So these little things, keep it in your mind, okay? Please keep clean things inside in the Jadui Pitara because that age group is such. They normally have cold and cough and all that, and कभी मुंह में कुछ डाल दिया है, and then the same thing goes inside the Jadui Pitara. So it becomes like a haven for bacteria and viruses, and for all you know, the entire class has got a viral attack. Okay, so please keep that. You're using the Jadui Pitara very, very responsibly. These teachers over here are laughing because they're imagining something, or they probably have collected some nice incident of this sort from their own school. Okay, chalo, let's go ahead. The don'ts pretty much the same that see to that. जैसे free play होता है ना, free play can be for the first 10 minutes. You cannot have 1.5 hour of free play. That classroom is going to turn into a battleground because everybody is going to be beating each other or kicking each other or punching each other because they're all the children of the same age. And remember, each child who comes to your class is the center of their parents' universe. Is actually the universe, not even the center. He's the universe. So many 30, 40 universes clashing together. It's going to be mayhem. So please see to that you use guided play or you use structured play. Free play only for the time, just a warm-up activity. And then from free to guided and from guided to structured. Very important to follow this particular sequence of things. Okay, can I move ahead? We've already discussed this. Now I want ideas from you people. आपको क्या लगता है आपके जादुई पिटारा में क्या होना चाहिए? I have already given you the exemplar. I have already given you the basic idea. अब आप लोग सोचिए, बेटा, excuse me, can you pass on the mic over there? Yes, teachers over here. I told you I'm a little partial with these people. I've not been paying attention to them. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something?
Good afternoon. In addition to all the resources that you have told, I believe we should have a student observation and a teacher feedback document which can be maintained as a part of the Jadui Pitara. An individual student observation. So when a child is interested in a particular activity, the teacher can note down the same.
Absolutely right. In fact, we in our school have also designed a book called My Book of Anecdotes. That is something that we have started with the idea that the child will carry forward that book till the grade 12. So when the child is leaving school, grade 12, we are actually handing over them an entire bunch of memories, कि तुमने क्या क्या किया है over the years. So this observation, method is very important because you have to fill in that anecdotal record also, right? And that is also one way of, the performance index is created. So whether the child has mastered the pre-writing skills, whether the child has mastered the pre-numeracy skills, how is the language ability? Is the child still using gestures? Is the child verbal enough? Is the speech of the child clear? So many things can be observed. Okay? Yes? So 5 more minutes and I am done. He's looking at me. Okay. Right. Is there anybody else who wants to share an input, please?
Yes. Actually, the name has been given Jadui Pitara, but the Jadu is missing here. So I would like to include one more activity there. If you permit, and I will come and show. Yes, please.
So as you said, what things can be added in our Jadui Pitara. So my Jadui Pitara will change according to the concept. Like if I want to introduce wild animals, I'll put some wild animals flashcards, or according to the concept, I'm going to change the Jadui Pitara things, and it will lead to critical thinking, wherein they are going to answer what they think about what is there inside the Jadui Pitara. Thank you, ma'am.
He's going to show us the jadoo that can be put in the pitara, okay?
The name has been given Jadui Pitara. So the child was crying when the parent was teaching numbers. So just we apply different methods to teach numbers. So here I'm going to show how to teach the concept of zero. Right? The small kids. One simple handkerchief, right? This is how many balls? How many balls are there? Only one ball is there. So I'm going to hide it. Ready? All are ready?
The ball is already there. Take, ma'am. Yes, teacher. How many ball was there? Sure. Is there? Yes, ma'am. Is there? Abacadu, abacadu, gili gili foo. I don't have any ball with me. Where's that ball? So we can write on the board. I don't have anything. That means that is zero. So that concept that way we can teach in the class. So I would like to mention this. You can apply this method in your class also. It is there inside.
Nice thing. So, something like this can be your content in your Jadui Pitara, right? Similarly, other numbers can also be introduced. There were two candles or maybe two pencils, and now they're inside, and now there's nothing. So so many good things. See, just use your innovation. You all are very creative people. Okay. I feel very bad when standard 10 and 12 children are having their farewell parties. They'll always say thank you to my chemistry teacher, my physics teacher, my mathematics teacher, and ये टीचर ने मेरे ये किया, वो टीचर ने मेरे वो किया. अरे पर जो टीचर ने तुमको लिखना सिखाया उसको कौन थैंक यू बोलेगा? So I think I should, on behalf of all these children, I'm saying thank you to each one of you for the lovely and the beautiful role that you play in their lives. Without you people, no, I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. Without you people, the nation would have remained uneducated. Okay? आपने, this entire group of teachers, the pre-primary teachers are the ones who teach the S of science, the C of chemistry, the P of physics, the P of psychology, the S of sociology. Okay? You are the ones who create citizens. So thank you very much, teachers. With this, I'd like to end my session. If there is anything, yes, please.
Ma'am, we have made already 45 Pitara as a school. And
Okay.
the concept we have done is that we have made different boxes for different subjects, you can say. So
Okay.
one box outside, full side, we have decorated with math concepts, ascending numbers, and shapes and everything. The other areas we have different body parts and flowers, fruits, something like that. So each subject wise, we have made different part of Jadui Pitara. So it looks very beautiful and very attractive. So whenever we enter that room, the children are really very fantastic when we remove that. You can say a cloth like that, or we put a dupatta and we remove it, and it is full very magical. That glittering eyes you can see of those kids.
Yeah, because children by nature are very curious. We
Yeah,
have already
yeah. So
learned
they
that.
like to see the things which we have already pasted and made the box very colorful and attractive.
How nice. Thank you very much, ma'am, for
Yes,
sharing
yes.
this input with all of us. Yes,
Thank
ma'am,
you,
you
ma'am.
have something to say. Ma'am, you're not audible.
Am I audible? In this Jadui Pitara, I would like to add some nature things because nowadays this generation is forgetting what is the nature. It is a real example which happened with me. So that concept was nature-based concept, and in that concept, trees and grasses are found. So only I show the picture cards and I explain that time. So this is the grass, the trees, this, everything. But one child asked me on that time, so ये कैसा लगता है खाने में? So that time. So now today I learned that. So in that Jali Pitara, definitely I put some grasses, sticks, stones. So it's look like a nature-based activities, which it is very helpful for children also and for grown-ups. For explaining everything.
The Jadui Pitara can consider anything and everything provided it is safe for the child. Okay? Yes? Yes, ma'am. I have observed that these kids are having fear about animals because parents are treating them like that. Don't go, dog will bite.
Don't touch. I'm an animal lover, so I always am a snake catcher also. So for me, okay. So whatever animals I'm having in my friend circle who gives me for adaptation. So I have an eagle, snake, and I bring that to the school. And my kids, those who are having fear, nowadays are not having the fear. Yeah, they are ready to touch, start learning.
Again, to see the safety parameter
Yes,
in
yes, yes.
mind.
Yes.
And
I will not
then,
be poisonous like to them.
yes, absolutely. Not only poisonous snake, ma'am, but sometimes, animal behavior, again, is not predictable. Similarly, even the child behavior is not predictable. So, just to be on the safer side, I'm sure you will be very vigilant.
They learn a lot of things which about animals.
Yes, yes.
By watching them, by touching them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much for your input. So I think we are done with this session now. Is there anything else anyone wants to discuss? Otherwise, I'll hand over the mic to sir. Sir, हो गया. सवा 3 बजे. कीजिए. आइए. Let me just randomly say thank you to all of you for being such wonderful audience. We spent close to 4 hours with each other. I think 3 hours with each other. And the best thing is none of you slept. No, I think everybody took a lot of interest in this learning activity, and I'm so happy and so honored to be here. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. We couldn't sleep because you didn't make us sleep. Thank you. I love us as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Amangi, for the profound session. Your guidance and expertise are truly invaluable. Really look forward to have you again, ma'am. We would now like to request our principal, Dr. Rajiv Kumar Chauhan, to kindly come up on stage and give away the token of love, gratitude, and appreciation to our resource person. Ms. Himangi P. Sharma, your august presence today at the workshop has made it a remarkable one. Now please accept the token of appreciation.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon to all. From morning, we have got very beautiful sessions, very encouraging sessions. So, I just want to tell that organizing the events with the help of CBSE when we pay 700 rupees or 800 rupees for one training is very easy. But I can see around more than 300 people are there, and free of cost, everything is arranged. So the credit mostly goes to Rajesh sir and the Pitara institution. So on behalf of all the teachers, principals, vice principals and coordinators, I really thank sir for organizing such big event, and the hospitality that was given is more than 5 stars. Sir. Thank you so much once again from all the community.
I once again request our principal sir to felicitate Ms. Pallavi, who has been coordinating the event for us. I now call upon Ms. Pallavi Sharma to kindly collect the token of love. now call upon our school counselor, Ms. Sushmita Kori, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As we conclude this workshop, it is my great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, we extend our deepest gratitude to the Almighty for blessing us with wisdom, strength, and resources to conduct this event successfully. We are immensely thankful to the Central Board of Secondary Education and Center for Education Pune for providing us with this wonderful opportunity to host such an enriching and insightful workshop. Our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed principal, Dr. Rajiv Kumar Chauhan, for his unwavering guidance and support. A special thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Manish Tyagi. Thanks also goes to our distinguished resource persons, Ms. Sushma Panduskar, Ms. Upasana Roy, Ms. Himangi Prasad, whose knowledge and expertise have greatly enriched our understanding and inspired us all. We also thank Ms. Pallavi Sharma for coordinating the event for us. We are also grateful to our enthusiastic principals, coordinators, and teachers from various schools who are present among us as audience. Their active participation and engagement throughout the workshop have been a remarkable one. Our sincere thanks to the entire team of PK Birla Center for Education Pune who have contributed directly or indirectly to making this workshop a success. Your support and contributions have been invaluable. Thank you all once again. We look forward to your continuous support for future endeavors. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Pallavi ma'am is here with us. We request our principal sir to kindly give away the token of love to Pallavi ma'am, who has been constantly coordinating the workshop for us. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. With this, we come to the end of our workshop. I request all of you to join us for a group photograph. We kindly request you to head towards the Shiv temple for the group photograph. I request the teachers to first head towards the Shiv temple, which is right outside the auditorium, the left hand side, the left exit. Also kindly note that the photograph will be followed by high tea in the dining hall. I now request all the coordinators to proceed towards the Shiv temple.